Diplomats, secretaries and even embassy staff, cooks and plumbers. For almost 9 months of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, 600 employees of the Russian diplomatic departments were deported from European countries. 2/3 of them spied for the Russian Federation, the British counterintelligence stated. According to the head of the department, the Kremlin is now especially actively trying to infiltrate its agents in countries that support Ukraine.
In the UK's case, since our removal of 23 Russian spies posing as diplomats, we have refused on national security grounds over 100 Russian diplomatic visa applications. We've continued to work intensively to make the UK the hardest possible operating environment for Russian covert action.
It takes a lot of time and effort to create such a spy network. In addition, Russia thus discredited its diplomatic departments, experts say. Now this method of introducing its agents for Moscow will be closed. Moreover, according to analysts, the Kremlin's actions have damaged diplomatic relations with the West comparable to the visa ban.
For Russian influence in Europe, embassies are no longer a sufficiently effective tool. In fact, they are all under surveillance, and today there is a presumption of distrust of diplomats. They become toxic. That is, in fact, Russia has done itself a disservice. Now any employee of the Russian embassy is initially perceived not just as a potential agent, but practically as a 100% agent of influence, and accordingly communications with him cannot go away, in case a person is counting on his own reputation in the future. Therefore, from consular services to the activities of diplomatic representation for Russia, today it is extremely complicated.
The Kremlin began spy wars long before the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. The most high-profile case was the poisoning in Britain of former Russian intelligence colonel Sergei Skripal with the poison of the Novichok group in 2018. And in 2019, an officer of the Georgian army who participated in the Chechen and Russian-Georgian wars was killed in Germany. The Russian Federation Security Service is behind both of these crimes. Mi-5 warns it is worth preparing for a long spy confrontation with the Kremlin. According to military experts, Moscow now has new opportunities to build up its agent network.
Now we see that agents can also be used fresh, coming with the flow of refugees. That's a pretty big stream, and the people who end up in Europe are not always victims of the war, but there may be residents of a fairly pro-Russian orientation who will consciously work in Russia.
However, the current progress in the West is considered a great success. However, the United Kingdom Security Service report indicates that other authoritarian states have recently become more active in spying. We are talking about Iran and China. Reported by Serhiy Kulyas, Danilo Kobza, UATV News.